in this video is actually just a little bit of a continuation from the last video, but if you didn't watch that, that's okay, you don't have to. So I picked up 7 go-karts for one monies, which was 175 bucks. The rest of them are down there, and then this one, that was my favorite one. I'm probably going to keep that, but that's in a later video. That's a little Murray kilowatt. If you're interested in all those, I did probably like I haven't edited it yet, but it's like a 10 to 15 minute video on going over everything and going and picking it up. I can't talk today. So go watch that if you want to. But this, I have no interest in keeping. This just does not interest me for some reason. So in this video, I'm gonna try to doll this thing up and try to make some cash on it, and maybe even sell it for enough to cover all the rest of those. I don't know if I said it or not. I probably just did, to be honest. I can't remember, but I paid 175 bucks for all of these, and as is, these are worth a pretty good penny, just as a roller. So that's planned for this video. I have no interest in putting a motor on it or anything. It's got hydraulic brakes all the way around it and stuff. It's just, it's worth fixing, but it's missing more than, I don't want to sound lazy, but what I'm willing to put in it time and money wise. So I'm gonna drag this thing up to the garage, and the plan is to clean it and fix like little stuff like this, put a bolt back in there, try to find some metallic blue paint to scuff all this up, get some rust off, spray it, just make it look a little bit better. That way someone can have a decent little roller to scoot around the yard in, or put a motor in first, I guess, and then scoot around the yard. Okay, so we need to go back outside. Well, get all the leaves out of it. We should have done all of that there. Well, I think it already looks a ton better just by doing that. And the plans have changed drastically. I mentioned paint work, like touching up some stuff. I'm not going to worry about that. Because if I was going to do that, this whole floor needs to be repainted. This is just chipping up. I was kind of looking forward to doing that because it's kind of pretty, this like metallic blue. But the plan is now is to piece it back together, like get all the fenders and stuff on it, and then just clean it really good. The amount of difference it's going to make for me to touch up all these areas that need paint is, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference in the price of it. I am going to steal these little cushion things. You know, like a little pool noodle or something goes in here, and then it just wraps around it. I'm going to steal that for the kilowatt down there that I plan on keeping. So with the plan now of just making it look a little bit better and easier to sell, which will make it easier to sell, I guess. For some reason, it's got huge tires on the front, so I'm going to try to swap these two out. They look the same lug pattern. They may not be. Nice. Okay, they're finger tight. Don't need that. This little thing right here has disc brakes. Well, at least in the front. Is there a disc? Yeah, there's one huge disc brake. Look at this tiny little disc brake it's got. That's cute looking. You think it's gonna work?
No.
You're front of the camera.
Oh, I don't know if you just recorded.
I don't see why this would work, but I hope it does. I hope it does too.
It's close. It's so close.
I guess we're putting the dinky tires on the front, or the stupid looking tires on the front. I could swap spindles. Do you think this would be the same spline on the front and back? Well, my thought is yeah, but I don't know. I have to say, the more I look at this one, the more I'm impressed with. Like, I don't know, this whole setup looks kind of beefy. And also, it's balancing on two wheels right now pretty good too. Okay, so this isn't going to work. I should have seen that, because this is spline to grab onto the rear wheel, or rear axle, you know, like in there, and this is just a bearing. So, like, this is just meant to spin on this. I am going to flip the wheel like he did on the other side, but the guy before me did on the other side, because if not, you can't really turn it. Put this spindle on. I actually found one of these. It's a M16 thread. I think it works. It may not. Threads on that were kind of messed up. That's why it struggled like that. It's got four wheels on it, and I actually don't think it looks all that terrible from the side anyways. The front, you know, it looks mean, but look how in the rear tires are. But again, it's a roller. You go buy like a roller car without a motor or anything, and usually has some like junky wheels and tires on anyways, so this checks out. Next, I think I'm going to clean up these headrests, because where they're a little bit rusty, they won't even go down into the thing. So those just need to be cleaned up a little bit and slid in there. These headlights and stuff are obviously no longer headlights, so I'm just going to take them off, because I think it'd look a whole lot better without them. Okay, so saw earlier that this, I guess this inner support was kind of cockeyed, so I pushed it back down, and I only had 2 screws for this, so I put the 2 I had up front, and then the 2 I took off the headlights actually were the same size, so I put them in the back too. So now the roll cage should be fairly sturdy from what I'm seeing. I don't see any more missing bolts. The wheels and tires stuff, I'm fine with those being mismatched, because I feel like it should be common sense whoever buys this. Probably shouldn't say that, but whoever buys this, probably you need to get the right wheels and tires for it. Because the lug nuts actually centered up pretty good, but they're not the right size for the hubs at all. So I would really want my kid on that. I don't have a kid. Probably won't ever have a kid, but you know what I'm trying to say. At least I know now that the roll cage is decently sturdy and at least all the bolts are in it. It's as sturdy as the Chinese hardware will allow it to be. So at least all the screws and stuff are in. Next, I'm going to try to put these fenders on because that's the thing that will make it look a whole lot better in my opinion. So I got to figure out. I'm glad they didn't say like, oh, front left and front right on these. So I get to figure that out. Okay, I see why the front fenders were taken off. It's because it hits the wheels will hit it because they're bigger. So guess we're not putting front fenders on. Also, I'm not going to put that rear one on either because it's been a bunch, and to be honest, I just don't really want to get into bending it back. So I'll just throw these in the buggy to be sold with them because I don't have a point in keeping them. So, okay. Okay, so I think I've done all I want to do to it. Kind of just pieced it back together. Not the most exciting video, but I don't know, I enjoy recording stuff like this and making a video out of it, so I thought I might as well. Honestly, if you can get some wheels that will match the rear, that would help it a lot. Or even find the right spindle to put these on the rear. That would actually look pretty cool. Give it some rake. But again, there's no point for me to do all that. And it's got all the fenders with it. One of them's bent pretty good, so it needs to be bent back to put back on there. And the front won't clearance. And the front won't turn with the fenders on there, so again, these are really just transport wheels anyways. And I cleaned up the seat a little bit. Needs some duct tape right there, but for a kid I think it's just gonna be fine. It's still wet from where I cleaned it. I'm gonna get it up there in the sun, shoot some pictures of it, put it on Marketplace. I'm thinking like right around 150. I feel like that's worth it. There's over $150 in parts right there, but I'm trying to price it where I can get enough where I'm happy out of it and I get it gone like relatively soon because it takes up a bunch of space. Yeah, I'm gonna do all that, and I think this is the end of the video. Probably. I think so. So thanks for watching.